Everyone, what is going on? As a lot of you may know, the Strumming Doctor course just launched. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. I've slept since then. And it's available now for everyone. The first module is free for everyone. So if you're just getting into guitar or just want to see if you like the course, you can go check out the Strumming Doctor on guitarfam.com/the-strumming-doctor, or just go to the homepage and you can just navigate there. There's a big card there you can click on to go to the course. But one of the main things covered, and one of the things I want to cover today in this little live video, is 5 dynamic strumming tips that will help take your strumming to a place where it doesn't seem like you're just kind of hacking through your strumming on whether you're doing cover songs or trying to make up your own tunes. It'll give your strumming a lot more life and just make it feel like you have something to say instead of just playing through, the chord progression and just doing like an 8-note or 16-note strumming pattern. So I'll hit them for you really quickly here, just so you kind of have an overview. But and these are all covered in more detail in the course, and they do take a little while to develop for each one of these. But it's worth putting in the time and effort for them because they can make your strumming sound so much better. The first thing is just to be conscious of and to find the dynamic range of your own guitar. A lot of players, and myself included, I'm guilty of this, will play at a certain volume all the time. And often that volume is way too harsh. So you dig into the strings and it kind of clanks out your guitar, kind of just gets real rattly. So the first thing I like to do is just strum as quiet as you can, and then go to as loud as you can, and back down, just to explore the dynamic range of your guitar, so you have what's available to you, and that can help a lot, and it will help you match the dynamics of your strumming to fit whatever part of the song or whatever song you're playing through. And just doing that simple dynamic exercise can really go a long way. The second thing is accents, just putting accents. So if you start at a nice moderate volume, let's say you just have a standard, like an 8-note strumming pattern, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you have a nice moderate volume, not too loud, not too soft, so you have somewhere to go, like if you need to accent something that's loud, or if you need to get quieter on a part. If you just throw in accents on 2 and 4, so 1, that can make your strumming pattern give it a lot of shape. And if you have that moderate volume as a starting point, you'll have somewhere to go for your accents. And I was kind of exaggerating that a little bit and really digging in, but I didn't exaggerate it to be something like this. Instead of just being like kind of a straight, kind of a sterile strumming pattern, be something like this. I'm not doing anything but digging in harder a little bit on the 2s and the 4s. And that leads me to the next one. The third dynamic strumming tip is to treat your guitar like a drum kit. So, and it kind of goes along the same lines of adding accents in. On 2 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're still going to be doing those accents in there, but you're going to accent the higher strings and just play those more, because on a drum kit, your kick and your snare are on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. In other words, your snare will be on 3 and 4, and your kick will be on 1 and 2. So you can play just your lower notes on 1 and 2, on 1 and 3, 1 and 3. When you get to 3, do it on the lower strings, and then on 2 and 4, higher strings. So take that same idea of accents, leave them on the 2 and 4 for your snare beats, and go lower strings on 1, and higher strings on 2, 3, lower strings 4. And if you keep that same idea of starting at a moderate tempo, a moderate volume, so you have somewhere to go. It starts ending up sounding like a part, or it has shape to the strumming pattern instead of just being. So we started with this, just a regular 8-note strumming pattern, no dynamics, no nothing. Started to put some accents in. And then bass notes, like the lowest, couple strings, 2 or 3 strings on 1 and 3, couple highest strings on 2 and 4. So, and you end up with something that sounds quite a bit different. As opposed to just something that's kind of sterile and doesn't have any shape or life to it. So those things can really help a lot. The other thing is to that kind of goes along with this is to start working on hitting single bass notes instead of all just the lower strings. You can hit just single bass notes, and that makes your strumming a little bit more dynamic too. Instead of this. And that one takes a little bit to develop because you have to work on your aim as far as your picking hand goes. But that sounds way different than this. Here comes. And that, to me, that makes the world of difference, and it gives you a lot of options to get a little bit more control of your strumming and make it more interesting, and actually come up with parts instead of just kind of hacking, with a hatchet your way through your strumming. And it's just something that you have to start off and be aware of at first. The first step is to be aware of all these things. Second is to actually put some time in with each one. And sometimes this takes weeks or months for each one of these, and that's fine, because this is something that'll be with you for the rest of your guitar playing career. And no one can ever take that away from you. You may have to sharpen it up every now and then, but it's going to make your strumming a lot more meaningful and a lot more expressive. You're going to have a lot more fun and be prouder of your playing too. The last thing is just muted strums. And this is one that kind of takes the idea of making your guitar sound like a drum kit to the next level. So if I was doing this, it's another option that makes it more dynamic, and it's something I might do, especially if it's like a really folky song where you're relying on the guitar. If it's just guitar and vocals, you could take something that is like, if we started out with this, just straight 8 notes at a nice moderate volume, and then put some accents with it. And put some single bass notes. And then some muted strum. Sounds way different than, right? And those are the things, the 5 tips for developing the dynamic tools for your strumming. Those are all covered in the Strumming Doctor course in a lot of detail. And there's a practice session for each lesson for all 5 of those dynamic strumming tools. And then there's just something that they've really helped me, especially when I'm actually aware of them. I'm not just kind of picking up my guitar and playing whatever, but putting some thought into my strumming patterns. They've always helped me a lot. If you have any questions on the Strumming Doctor, what's covered in the course, you can go to guitarfam.com/strumming, and that, like, everything's there for you. The trailer for the course, what all's covered there. And you can just email support@guitarfam.com. Or if you have any specific questions with the strumming that you need help on, you can email us too, or hit the forum up on the Guitar Fam site. Other than that, I hope those 5 tips helped you. If you don't know where to start with them, just start with the first one and tackle that first, and then you can come back to this video or the Strumming Doctor course and then take the next one. But the important thing is that you're just aware of these things and to start working on the first one. Don't take all 5 of them on at the same time if you're new to guitar. Otherwise, you might get frustrated, but working on one of them at a time will be really good. Thanks, everyone. See you guys later.